Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here at weatherweb.net and it's Sunday the 15th of October. Thanks again for watching. This is your look ahead video and a special welcome to all of you who are new to Weatherweb, to the non-subscribers amongst you. Great to have you here, and I hope you'll take a look around the site as well and get a feel for what we're doing here at Weatherweb. Thousands of members already have joined and it'd be great to have you on board. Okay, big story of the day is Ophelia, or what will be ex-Hurricane Ophelia by the time we get through to this afternoon. In fact, within the next, probably, I would say 3-4 hours, I think Ophelia is going to be getting down to ex-hurricane status. These are the latest forecast tracks, and you can see how the idea is that ex-Ophelia looks like it's going to take a track towards the west of Ireland. That puts areas towards the east of Ireland, across the southwest of the UK, Wales, northwest England and Scotland. Those are the areas likely to see the strongest of the winds associated with Ophelia. More on that in just a second. That's the latest satellite picture from this morning of Ophelia. This is courtesy of the University of Dundee from Meteosat. Those of you following us on Twitter will have already seen this, and those of you who aren't following us on Twitter, you can do so at WXWeb. That's at WXWeb, and we're also at Weather School. That's at Weather School. So this is the picture from 10 o'clock local time this morning, and there is Ophelia, still identifiable as a hurricane with an eye in the middle of the storm, but starting to head its way now northeastwards, and it's going into it's starting to show some ex-tropical characteristics now. So it's certainly on the decrease. It's probably about a force 2 now. It was a force 3 this morning. Expect that to weaken rapidly as we get through the next few hours. But beautiful to see the storm in there, the front up towards the north here. Just look at the shadow on the back side of that front as the sun was rising, and this plume of warm air, dry air getting in across many parts of Europe. Fantastic satellite picture this morning. So what actually happens to Ophelia? Well, we can pick up on Ophelia. This is the forecast chart for 1 o'clock this afternoon, and here is the storm towards the west of Portugal. Watch how through this afternoon it gradually edges its way northeastwards, and then by 10 o'clock this evening it's in the western parts of the Bay of Biscay. It then heads itself into southern parts of Ireland through the early hours of Monday morning, and by 7 o'clock on Monday morning it's positioned sort of west-southwest of Cornwall, south-southwest of Ireland as a really deep feature by then, 960 millibars as a central pressure. But just notice how close together the isobars are around the storm as it heads northwards. By now we'll be starting to see gales into the south of Ireland, and then through the course of Monday morning those gales and storms then spread their way northwards through Ireland. We get storms as well getting into southwestern parts of England, and some really big seas starting to develop in this area as well. So then the storm continues its way north as we go through the course of Monday into Monday afternoon, and by Monday evening we're seeing storm force winds across much of Ireland, Wales, across parts of northwest England into the southwest of Scotland, and then eventually Ophelia clears its way through Scotland through Monday night into the early hours of Tuesday morning before finally clearing into the North Sea during the early part of Tuesday. So we have got several hours worth of strong winds to come, particularly across western and northern parts of the UK as well as across Ireland. Now the reason Ophelia is doing what she's doing is that she's getting picked up by a trough. This is the 500 millibar forecast, and for those of you who don't know the technicalities of weather, don't kind of glaze over at this point. It is interesting to see 500 millibars is a chart at about 18,000 feet in the atmosphere, and we use it to sort of smooth out the patterns that we see in surface pressure charts. So what we have here is a trough just in here. We've got Ophelia positioned down here, and just watch what happens. This is the forecast chart for 1 o'clock this afternoon. Now watch what happens as the trough edges its way eastwards. You'll notice Ophelia gets picked up by the trough and then passes its way northeastwards through Monday, eventually crossing across Ireland and into Scotland as well. Now notice some very strong winds, because 500 millibar charts very similar to surface pressure charts. Close together the solid lines on here, the stronger the winds. Some very, very strong winds across Eastern Ireland and across the west of the UK as Ophelia moves its way northwards. You might think, well, why do I need to know that at 18,000 feet? Well, the reason is that's part of the jet stream. Occasionally what you can get from these storms is what we call sting jet, which is a very, very narrow band of very strong winds at the surface which descends through the atmosphere courtesy of cold air. And it is a possibility that Ophelia could contain one of those. So what about these gusts of wind then? Well, this is the forecast gust ending at 7 o'clock on Monday morning, and the red colours here you see just getting into Southern Ireland, Southwest Wales and Southwest England. Now during the morning those winds head their way northward, so that by 1 o'clock on Monday afternoon these are the forecast gusts. Strongest of the gusts over 50 knots, affecting most of Ireland, coming down through western and central parts of Wales and into southwest England. Notice too we're seeing some gusts down here of 80 knots plus. Those localised gusts do start to indicate still the evidence for a potential sting jet in the system. Then through tomorrow afternoon, this is the forecast chart between 1 p.m. and up to 7 p.m. On Monday evening, and you see quite a broad area of red colours in there. These are winds gusting up to 70 knots plus, so we're talking sort of 80 miles an hour, but I wouldn't be surprised if one or two places get 90 miles an hour, particularly Western Wales, southern and eastern parts of Ireland. I suspect that by then the risk of a sting jet may well have abated. The storm is starting to fill. We're not seeing it at its most vigorous stage, but we still need to be aware of some very strong localised winds. And then the wind gusts into the evening on Monday. This is 7 o'clock Monday evening up until 1 a.m. on Tuesday morning, and notice that the strongest of the winds move into Eastern Ireland, Northern England, Western Wales and Southern Scotland, but they are easing by then, and then we find those winds gradually easing off as we go through the early hours of Tuesday morning, mostly the strong winds by then transferring to Southern and Eastern Scotland, parts of North East England, before eventually those strong winds clear out into the North Sea. So it certainly is going to be a very windy, well, I suppose you could say it's going to be a very windy 36 to 42 hours. So, yeah, it looks like, I think, if you're not prepared yet, you certainly should be. But what about after Ophelia's gone? What do we expect? Well, ECMWF still shows signs of pressure wanting to build. This is the 10-day pressure forecast for Manchester. And notice here, yes, we see low pressure still affecting us as we head into the back end of this week, but look at this rise in pressure for next week. It still wants to see some sort of build in pressure taking place towards this final part of the month. I'm not sure it will last very long if it does come in, but there is evidence of it being there, and it's what you'd expect to see really when we go through the MJO phases of particularly 4 and into 5. But you see here the MJO forecasts through phase 6, 7 and 8 as we get into the middle stages of November before getting back into phase 1. We explain far more about the MJO here at weatherweb.net, so I'm not going to go into it in much detail now. Matt did a good video on it a couple of days ago, but I don't want to go into detail of it. Just suffice to say that that pattern coming through 6, 7, 8 and into 1 is quite a changeable pattern, but it's one that does see high pressure building in at times. And the CFS forecast sees things like this. Let's just zoom in on there. This is the CFS forecast for week 1. So this is taking us up to the 21st of October. And it's showing lower than average heights to the north, higher than average heights down towards the south. Indicates a jet stream coming in from the southwest, but it still wants to build in high pressure across southern and eastern parts of the country, hinting at mostly drier conditions there, but more unsettled across the north of the country, which is just about what we're likely to see this week. Now, into next week, 22nd of October through to the 28th of October, half term for some. Still got the higher than average heights down towards the south, building in across many southern and western parts of the UK, but a trough in evidence up towards the north. So again, we see Scotland, we see parts of Northern and Western Ireland staying in those more mixed conditions. But what about further ahead? Well, this is the week 3 forecast from the CFS from the 29th until the 4th of October. Higher heights out towards the west wants to show signs of this ridge building in. It also wants to bring in more of a north to northwesterly flow, indicating cooler but drier conditions at the end of the month. And of course we saw that on the ECMWF charts as well, the first signs of that pressure building. But like I say, it doesn't last long, and that's exactly what you'd expect to see from a fast-moving MJO. This is the week 4 forecast, 5th of November through to the 11th of November, and look, the high's gone. It's replaced by a trough out towards the east. That has the potential to bring in quite a chilly start and a mixed start to the early stages of November. So plenty going on, and this is exactly what we're here for at weatherweb.net, to keep you up to date with these developments. Now, if you're not a member, if you're not a subscriber yet, then why not have a look at what we offer. You get a 3 free-day trial, and you can take a look around the site and see what's on there. Just give you a quick heads up, we do these daily fast forecasts. That's our 1 to 5 day detailed forecast. They're available every afternoon. We then do the look ahead video every day, which is the video that you've just been watching, and we talk about a variety of things on there, but generally focus on the medium to long-term forecasts, sometimes for weeks, months, and even seasons ahead. We also offer our 2-week planner, which is recorded on a Monday, Wednesday and Thursday, giving you information in a more traditional forecast style for the next couple of weeks. And throughout the day, every day, you'll get access to our musings, which explain in more depth what the weather is expected to be doing, and kind of explain a little bit about how things are expected to develop. And you've got access to our weather school videos as well. So there's loads going on, including our professional models, our expert charts, loads and loads of stuff there for you. So come along and fill your boots. Just go to weatherweb.net. If you click on Premium Member and click on Join Now, that will bring you up all the various options that you have in order to be able to join Weatherweb. And you can see there, if you click on subscription options, that's your various options. It costs from as little as £12 a month to join weatherweb.net. So do come along, have a look, see what we do, and it'd be great to welcome you along as a member. Any questions, please do get in touch. Okay, so the message from Ophelia is stay safe, be prepared, get ready for what's ahead, and just marvel at the wonder of the weather. Okay, I will leave you with that for now. We'll have our fast forecast online for you later this afternoon. But for now, whatever you're doing, thanks again for watching. Keep the sun shining, and bye for now.